With accusations of suspicious bank deposits, fiery exchanges, former President Rodrigo Duterte definitely lost his cool in last night's House probe, at one point even attempting to throw a microphone at his long-term political rival, former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. And tonight, we will delve into his motivations as well as his perspectives on that recent clash. We have former Senator Trillanes joining us over the phone tonight. Can you hear me, Senator Sonny?
Good evening, ladies, and good evening to your viewers.
Okay, first off, I was wondering, when I saw you show up at around 4 p.m., were you actually invited to the House hearing? And when did you receive the invite? And when did you RSVP that you were indeed going to show up yesterday? Because there was a bit of a mix-up. Yesterday wasn't supposed to happen. Then last minute it happened. So we're just wondering, Senator, paano po yung appearance ninyo? No? When was that factored in?
I was informed about a possible, for that matter, I was invited to attend the hearing around Tuesday in the evening, but they were saying that it's still tentative. So I wasn't really aware that the hearing would push through and that my invitation would still be valid. And I was informed again during the afternoon, yesterday afternoon. So from Caloocan, I went straight to the Batasan.
Okay, so would it be fair to say, Senator Sonny, na medyo may pagkabiglaan yung appearance ninyo? Kasi lahat kami nagulat din.
Yes, biglaan. But I was informed, I was invited last Tuesday pa, but yun nga, hindi pa sure yung hearing itself kung tutuloy. Kaya ano lang, I was passive about it. Pero nung in-inform ako na tuloy yung pagpunta ko, I was ready to make my presentation.
Okay. Senator, this is Maricel. Let's talk about the bank accounts that you mentioned during the hearing yesterday. This issue is not new. Kasi you already brought this up, I think sometime in 2016 during the start of the term of President Duterte. So what actually motivated you to bring this issue again this time before the Congress? And meron ba kayong pinangahawakan na bagong evidence with regards to these allegations?
I was motivated to present it again because it was never addressed. Palaging iniiwasan niya ni Duterte 2016 pa lang. If you would recall, when I brought it up, he was initially denying its existence. Then nung may mga nag-deposit doon sa account na yon to prove na existing yung accounts, he was forced to admit it. Tapos, challenge niya ako to go to BPI Julia Vargas branch to disprove yung mga allegations ko. Pero he never showed up. No? Tapos, nung nanalo na siya, iniwasan na yung issue. So, ginamit ko yan as part of the evidence of the plunder case that I filed against Duterte. And yun na, eventually, na-validate yan ng ombudsman mismo. Kaya ito na ngayon. Pero nung na-validate yun, he fired the deputy ombudsman. So palagi niyang iniiwasan to. Kaya it was the perfect time yesterday. Ando doon siya. Namilipit siya kung paano siya lulusot.
But what do you think of his reactions during the hearing, sir? Kasi yun nga, nabanggit natin kanina, parang akmang mambabato pa siya ng microphone. And ang ending, he didn't sign the waiver.
Ganun nga po yan si Duterte palagi. When cornered, he would make a scene para ma-divert yung issue. That's how he manipulates and controls yung mga ganyan mga forum. Kaya nga, at every turn yesterday, I wanted him to be pushed in a corner para makita ng mga tao na how evasive he is. Ano? At yun na ngayon, yung actions niya would reveal na totoo yung allegations ko. Kasi remember when he alleged that I had foreign bank accounts. Anong ginawa ko? Pinirmahan ko kagad yung waiver. Sinama ko pa yung media sa Singapore to disprove na mali yung to disprove yung allegations niya against me. Ganon dapat ang actions ng taong wrongly accused. Siya hindi eh. Namimilipit siya eh. Di ba?
Okay. Senator, konting clarification lang, no? Nabanggit nyo naman mismo sa Quadcom hearing na this is not a new issue. Like you said now, no? Gusto mo lang mag-bring attention to it ulit since dinedma siya dati. Pero you said na someone just handed you these bank documents. As we know, sobrang higpit ng bank secrecy laws natin. The former president even said na pwede kanyang kasuhan for this. I believe nung time na pumutok tong issue, maybe Masek can help me remember, parang ang pagka-explain nila are these are campaign funds and campaign donations. Are you not buying that?
I'm not buying that because in the documents, 2007 or 2006 nag-start yung mga deposits doon. Tapos, ang very critical doon sa pinalabas ko kahapon, during the period ng 2011 to 2013, every 6 months, nagbibigay ng dividend yung drug lord sa kanilang pamilya. Manager's checks ito na ini-encash nila. Kaya na-flag dun sa documents na yon. So every 6 months, around 40 to 50 million ang dividend. So anong klaseng business yon na magdi-dividend na ganon? Coming from this character na in-identify ni Arturo Las Cañas as one of the drug lords na kapartner ni Duterte.
Senator, during the hearing, you did reference deposits made by a known campaign contributor na si Sammy Uy, and he is alleged to have drug connections. Sen, how central is Sammy Uy? How central is this figure in your investigation?
Well, according to Arturo Las Cañas, who is an insider do sa grupo ni Duterte, tatlo yan silang characters, si Sammy Uy, Michael Yang, and Charlie Tan. Si Michael Yang, ito na yung na-identify ni Colonel Asierto at ni Jimmy Guban as the drug lord behind the magnetic lifters na Cebu. O si Charlie Tan naman yung na-identify ko na drug lord behind the 6.4 billion peso Cebu shipment. Tapos itong si Sammy Uy, ito yung frontman daw ni Michael Yang doon sa Davao City. Kaya yun ang relationship nila with each other. Pero lahat silang tatlo part of the same syndicate na kasama si Duterte. Tapos yan lumalabas na campaign contributor. Pero doon sa bank accounts na nakita natin, pinakita ko kagabi, 40 to 50 million ang dividend niya na ini-spread dun sa buong pamilya ni Duterte every 6 months. So, ini-encash yung check initially siguro until they found out later na mas magandang walang paper trail, doon na, diretso na nilang dinideposit sa account. Kaya proceeds of the illegal drug trade ito, maliwanag po yan.
Okay, so ano pong next steps ninyo? I understand may kaso na very quickly lang, Senator. Okay, so ngayon nailabas na. It has gotten the attention, which was your motivation for presenting it yesterday. What's next?
What's next is iimbitahin nila si Overall Deputy Ombudsman Arturo Carandang, who was able to confirm the authenticity of these documents that I presented. So yun na ngayon. Pag na-present na yun, ito na ngayon. Huling-huli na sila Duterte. And kung darating man na magkakaroon ng impeachment case si Sara Duterte, kasi impeachable ito, no? Kasi joint account sila ni Duterte and VP Sara. So, since exempted sa bank secrecy law ang impeachment, lalabas lahat yan. Pati yung mga checks na sinasabi ko, which would constitute direct bribery, illegal drug trading, money laundering, non-declaration sa SALN, among other impeachable offenses.